Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do, this was an anti-bullying look that I did. You could use it for anti-Valentine's Day, you can also use it as a Halloween look. It depends obviously what words you use in it, but I'll be showing you today how to do the special effects words to make them look as though they're actually scratched into your skin. Okay, so the first thing I did was to write the words actually out on myself, just so I knew where to position them, so that once I went in with the latex and the wax, they'd be all written out and I'd know the exact position that I could do it. I'm just using a lip liner for this. Then what I did was get latex. I just put down a thin layer of latex over the words first of all, so that once I went in with the wax, the latex would stick the wax down and it would be easier to work with. So I'm just going over with a cotton bud over the lines of the words, so that I can put the wax over them. Then what I want to do next is I use Grimas Derma Wax, which is really sticky. Just roll it into like a worm size piece of wax, and then stick that on where I've put the latex, and put it over all the words, and then what you're going to do is just smooth that down onto your skin so that it all blends in. You need to use a bit of Vaseline because the wax is really sticky. I've got a little spatula which makes it easier to get into the tiny little corners, but you can, if you haven't got the spatula, just use your finger. The Vaseline just stops everything from sticking to the wax, so just going and blending that into the skin, so that it looks like it's part of your skin, but with sort of the words raised. So I'm just going to go around and do this. I'll show you on the F, and then it took a long time to do all of the words. So I'm just going to show you how I did it on the F, and then I'm going to go ahead and do all the rest of the words in the same way but off of the camera because it takes quite a while. So as you can see, all the letters are done now and they're all blended in. This took me almost 2 hours. It took quite a while. You can probably see by my face that I'm quite tired now. So now what you need to do is cut slits into the actual wax. I use scissors because I find that it drags on the wax less, but obviously you don't want to go anywhere near your skin. You're just cutting into the top of the wax. Don't let it go near your skin, otherwise you're going to end up with real scratches. What you can do if you've just got like a sharp plastic object, you can use like the spatula that I was using in the first place. I just find it easier to use the scissors, but obviously it can be quite dangerous. This is Snazaroo caked blood, so what I'm going to do is just go in, and with the indents that I've made with the scissors, I'm just going to fill in those dents with the blood. So it gives it starts to bring it a 3D look to it. We're going to go in with more blood and then also with some black face paint as well, but we're just going to go over it now because you can kind of see it on the video, but in real life it's quite hard to see where the words are and where the indents are. So once you go over it with this blood, you can start to see the words come into life. So I'll just go over all of the words with this caked blood. So that's all of the words done now, and then the next step is I'm going to actually do my makeup. Obviously you can skip this step if you really don't want to, but because we were doing it for Instagram posts, I'm going to do my makeup. I'm just using, it's just an everyday makeup look, it's nothing fancy. I'm just going in with foundation, a bit of concealer on my eyes. And then I've got powder. What I've done is put the powder over the wax as well, because that helps to set it and make it look a bit more realistic, but don't go too heavy with the powder or you start to be able to see the edges of the wax. And then I've just got eyeliner, going in with brown eyeliner over my eyebrows. And then the next thing, mascara, of course. And then I'm just going to do my lips with the same lip liner that I used to draw out the words, and a bit of lipstick just so I look a bit more fancy. Then I'm going to go in with black face paint over the letters again. That just gives them a bit more depth, makes them look a bit darker. Then what we're going to do to give it like a hurt look, because obviously if your skin was scratched, it wouldn't just be scratched and you'd have no marks, your skin would be red. So I just use the caked blood with a stipple brush, which gives a sort of dotted look around it, and I'm just going to go around all the words with that, to give it sort of, to make the skin look as though it's hurt and it's sort of red and raised. The sponge that I'm using here is a bit like a sponge. It's a makeup sponge, but it's one that you'd like use for washing up, where it just gives that dotted effect. And then I'm going to go in with liquid blood. I'm using Mehron Squirt blood, and I'm just going to go over again all the indents that I made with the scissors, just to give it the look of actually bleeding. So the scratches are quite deep, so obviously blood is coming out of them, and I'm just going to go over all of the words again with this dripping blood, just to give it a much more realistic and hurt look. And then I'm just doing one last word on my face. I'm going to do the word hate, but I'm not going to do that with the wax. I'm just going to go over it first in black, just to give it a deeper look, and then go over it again with the blood. But you'll see, obviously, it looks good, but it doesn't look as realistic as the ones that are actually done with the wax. And this is the final look. Thank you for watching.